Hello. About 4 months ago, I decided to start an experiment where I invested £5 every day using the Trading 212 app. Now, I understand that investing can be a hurdle to many people. Many people seem to think that you need an awful lot of money to get started with investing. And technically, while it's true you're not going to see any major gains at the start just by investing £5 every day, but there is something about that experience which I will talk about in a bit. Now, the idea of this entire experiment started on the 16th of April 2025. At that time, I kind of decided to give it a go and just to see what would it be like to just invest an incredibly small amount on a daily basis and just basically do that for a long period of time just to assess how the market changes, how it behaves, and kind of more importantly, I mainly did this just as a way of showing to people that you don't have to start with insane amounts of money. And yes, it's true, you're not going to make a lot of money by investing £5 a day for 4 months, but the idea there is to basically get the, how can I put it? It's getting the feeling, because when you expose yourself to the experience of doing that, it kind of goes into your identity in a way. So it kind of becomes natural to you, if that makes sense, and it kind of warms you up a little bit so that you get used to the habit, and then hopefully it's that small act of investing such an incredibly small amount that kind of pushes you in the future to basically invest more. And it starts with £5 and you can graduate to start investing £100 a month and then £200 a month, and who knows, and it continues. So the more exposure you get, the more confidence you will gain. And so to cut this ramble short, I just want to say that I only did this to help you get warmed up to investing. Now, to keep things simple, I just decided to go with one index fund. So I picked the S&P 500 as a fund that I'm going to invest in for this experiment. And in case you're not familiar with what the S&P 500 is, it's basically just a group of companies, 500 to be exact, all in one pot basically. And the goal of that is you yourself don't have to do any thinking about which company is best, which ones to remove, which ones to add. The fund completely manages that for you. Any companies that are not doing well, they get kicked out every quarter. Every companies that are doing well, they get added to the fund every quarter. And so if you want a safe bet and you don't want to hassle yourself with trying to pick companies yourself, then go with the S&P 500. Now, as I mentioned at the start, we're going to be using the Trading 212 app to do this experiment. And so if I jump to mine, I'm going to just take mine on my phone. So when you are in Trading 212, you are going to land on this homepage as a start. And so basically, you've got 3 types of accounts. So you got an invest account, you got a stocks and shares ISA, and then you got a CFD account. If you are new to investing, I wholeheartedly advise stay away from CFDs because they definitely are not beginner friendly, and a lot of people have lost a lot of money on CFDs. And so for our case, we are just going to use the stocks and shares ISA. The only difference between stocks and shares ISA and the general investment account is that the stocks and shares ISA is tax-free basically, and it's capped to £20,000 a year, which is still great to be honest. So any gains you make inside the stocks and shares ISA are completely tax-free as well, and you don't have to pay anything for them. Anyways, now once you choose the right account, you will land on this homepage basically. From here, you can click on this pie icon here, and that will show you your stocks and shares ISA portfolio. Then scroll down to the bottom until you see this add new pie button. And this is where you can customize your pie basically. So click on custom, then add instrument. And then here, we're looking for the Vanguard S&P 500 option. Now, within Trading 212, there are many S&P 500 options, and I have covered those in a separate video. But for now, I'm just gonna pick the first Vanguard S&P 500 option. And then once I do that, you just click add to pie and then hit the next arrow. And then here, I'm gonna use Autoinvest. And this is a great feature, predominantly because Autoinvest is going to prevent something extremely important, which is allowing your emotions to make the investing decisions for you. So if you do this manually, you're going to run into 2 problems. The first problem is we are doing this every day. We are investing £5 on every single day, which is very, very easy to forget to do it in one of the days. So Autoinvest solves that problem. And then the second problem, which is, to be honest, the most important one, is you're gonna eliminate the possibility that your emotions take the steering wheel. Because when you set this on autopilot, you're not going to rely on your own emotions to do the investing decisions for you. So it's already set up and it will do the investing for you. You don't have to worry about whether the market is up or down. It's actually a better idea not to look at what the market is like before you invest, because that will generally create some bad decisions. So please do use Autoinvest whenever you can. Anyways, now that we've got the pie sorted, we're pretty much good to go. So we don't really have anything else to do. We just have to wait for the time to go by, and obviously Autoinvest will do all the work for you. But luckily for you, my friend, you don't have to wait, because I already done the experiments and the time has already gone, so I can share the results with you straight away. Now, as I've mentioned before, this experiment was started on the 16th of April, 2025. And at the time of recording this video, which we are now in August 2025, I have now invested an accumulative amount of £595. And now we come into the $1,000,000 question, which is what my portfolio is worth right now. And the answer is £637, which is roughly about £42.75 in gain. To be honest, this is really great news, and the fact that we've got a £42 gain, which is roughly, trying to do math in my head, I think it's just over 7% return. It's really amazing. I actually remember when I did this experiment for the first time, the original idea was to do it for 30 days. And I have done it for 30 days, and in the past I have actually made a previous video about the results of that experiment. And I remember at that time I've got, I think, £10 in gains. So the fact that I'm at £42 right now, it just means that the experiment is still going well. And quite frankly, I really started this experiment at a really good time, because at the time when I started it, which was April, the market was just about recovering from all the tariffs chaos that happened over the period between February and April. And since then, things basically started to improve, and the S&P 500 has done consistently well over the last few months period. So in a way, there is a bit of luck with the experiment results that we've got in here. I mean, this is not going to matter anyways, because if we are doing this for the very long term, the short-term results don't really play a significant role. And I guess what's even more interesting as well is I remember very well at the time when I made the first update, which was the first 30 days of this experiment, I think I had 69 subscribers. I do remember that number really well. And today, as of the time of recording this, I am at 468 roughly, I think. Yeah, not only my portfolio grew, but also the number of you guys who are watching these videos have also grown. So I'm immensely, immensely grateful for it. And if this is our first time meeting and you want to be part of this community, then you can just click on the subscribe button below this video if you wish to do so. Right. Now, I want to show you something else. Now that you've basically got to experience what it's like to do a small experiment and invest in small amounts, I want to show you the other end of the spectrum. So what I did in this video right here is I actually gone through my own main portfolio, and that is basically my main portfolio where I've invested over £35,000 during the last year. So if you want to see the results of that portfolio, then you can click on this video next. Okay, I will see you over there.